This isn't a real castle, but what's the difference between a castle, a palace, a chateau, a manor house? Well, the names can kind of all be used interchangeably. Like this is the Palace of Versailles, however they oftentimes call it a chateau, but chateau just means castle in French. But apparently the French actually use chateau for both castles and palaces for the most part. Like this is also called a chateau, but this would have actually been a defensible structure. And there's a lot of chateaus like Chateau de Lalande in France that actually used to have defensive structures on it, and you can still sort of see the matriculations right here and what remains of its moat right here. But after the French Revolution, they forced all the remaining chateaus to remove a lot of the defensive structures so that the French nobility, which got kicked out of the country, could, and that nobody else would be able to use these as defensive structures. And so they're much more like a palace or a manor house, especially in the case of something like this that was only built in the 1860s. It's only ornamented to look like a castle, whereas it wasn't used for any sort of defensification or fortification, so it really is much more of like a palace. Anything can be called a castle, just like the castle at Walt Disney World, which is based off of this castle, but it's really a facsimile of a castle, not a real castle in and of itself, especially not a medieval one.